Hello. So, I am playing Interrogation. You will be deceived. I saw this game when I was looking through games on Steam the other day. It looked interesting, and I saw today that it was on sale for like $7, so I picked it up and I figured, why not go ahead and give it a shot. I'm really excited to play it. Basically, what it says is that you're trying to interrogate people and determine who's lying while you're managing a police team. So it should be fun. And a quick heads up, if you hear any snoring, which you shouldn't, but it's possible, it's my dog. She's an English Mastiff, and I'm actually sitting next to her on the floor right now because I think she was a little lonely, and she's kind of old. And so, yeah, I thought, you know what? I have a laptop. I can go make my dog's night and give her some pets. And I'll make sure to insert a photo of her for the puppy tax or something. But yeah, let's get into it. I'm thinking we'll just go with detective mode. That looks like the normal one. Yeah, moderately difficult conversational gameplay. Detective thoughts as tips and an increased campaign budget. Expect some uncanny confessions. There's interrogation challenge. Just demanding conversational gameplay. You will need to try interrogations multiple times and may need to rewind the campaign. And then there's visual novel. But I think I kind of want to go with just detective mode. A few years ago. Welcome. This will be the first drill session of the Investigative Interview and Interrogation Techniques course. We'll be bringing in a subject. They're a trained actor, but should be fully in character for the duration of the interview. I'm considered invisible and inaudible by the actor, but I'll be guiding you along. Before any interrogation, the first thing to do is to consult the subject's file. This should give you vital insights into the case, helping you to identify what information or confession needs to be extracted. Well, I don't know how to progress. Oh, I don't know why it's paused. Oh, because I need to click this. Okay. Let's see. Police Department Form 300. Incident narrative. Douglas Bird is played by an actor. As per the instructor's directions, treat the actor the same as you would a real subject. Mr. Bird, despite coming from well-off parents, has taken to bike theft. We have plenty of circumstantial evidence. Because none of it is direct, however, we need to leverage all the leads in order to get a full confession. Let's see. Yeah. And then we have a nice picture of him here. I assume these are all him. 26, very skinny, and theft. Okay. Douglas Bird is our main suspect for several bicycle thefts at a local university campus. Several eyewitnesses confirmed his description. We also have CCTV footage showing a masked figure matching the subject's description, jumping on an unsupervised bicycle and riding off fast. He's currently listed as unemployed, living in a rented apartment paid for by his parents. His criminal record is clean, but he is known to be friends with several narcotics abusers, as well as a roommate who is a suspected marijuana dealer. Interesting. That sounds like my university campus, or like any university campus, really, with all the bicycles getting stolen. When you're done checking the files, you can bring in the subject. Be careful, though. Now is not the case, but when it will be a time-sensitive situation, this is when the clock starts ticking. Okay, so we have all the time we need right now. Bring them in. Okay, so first things first, let's just try and straight up ask him. You can check the accusation question every now and then to get a sense of whether you're close to confession. Okay, let's talk about you writing a confession. We both know you did it, come on. So why do you steal bikes, Douglas? They say with a smirk, huh? I ain't steal no bikes, bro, Seth. That sounds super real. Good job. Right, so that surprisingly didn't work. We need to get the subject in the right state of mind to give us answers. So how do we do that? We have the following tools which we can use to see what state the subject is in. This shows us how open the subject is by looking at pupil dilation, corroborated with a few other signals. The wider the pupils are, the more open the subject is. I don't know if that's based on reality, but it might be, I don't know. This meter tells us how scared the subject is by measuring pulse as well as other bodily symptoms. The quicker the heart rate, the more scared the subject is. Now you can influence these meters in all sorts of ways, from building a personal connection to exploiting their background, from cornering them in contradictions to roughing them up. Let's try to build a connection first. Be careful, some questions will alienate the subject instead of bringing them closer. Other questions will seem disingenuous if they're approached too suddenly. You'll probably want to start off as soft as possible. Okay, so you need to pick one that isn't too harsh. Says in your file your folks are loaded. What's the matter? That's a little too harsh. You steal for fun. Hey, living's expensive, I know. I used to crack payphones when I was a teen. Can't believe they had me chasing bikes. Why can't people just lock them up proper? Probably that. They shake their head in disbelief. Psh, doubt it. He's not buying it yet. Try opening up yourself when questioning the subject, then try this one again. Okay. Probably that. They state slowly, F you, man, no. That forced him even more on the defensive. Right now, we're looking to open him up. I don't know how to open him up. I told him I crack payphones, which I don't even know what that means. I guess we don't pay to use them. It's kind of a lame crime, but yeah. Looking to open him up. I feel like that's going to be a little too mean, but maybe it's it. That also seems kind of harsh. Maybe that? Nope. He really hated that. That forced him even more on the defensive. Right now we're looking to open up. Okay, let's try this. This doesn't seem like the one to me, but I bet it is. They act outraged. That ain't none of your business, man. That just alienated him. Might be useful to intimidate, but now we're trying to build empathy. Can't believe they have me chasing bikes. Why can't people just lock them up proper? They seem amused. It's stupid, man. Wasted taxpayer money and all that. Okay, good. You seem more authentic. Now get closer to the subject. Okay, that doesn't... I would not find that comforting, but okay. Okay, so he said to open up about ourselves after we get him to open up. So, that. Hey, living's expensive, I know. I used to crack payphones when I was a teen. Word. That's thug. Okay, we have him opening up some. Good. That is why the meter now shows a wider circle than in the beginning. Now let's see how we can try to scare him. You might want to intimidate, but don't jump to big threats right off the bat. Don't be afraid to ask a question more than once. Asking again with the subject in a different state or with new information on the table can yield new results. Okay. So, we have to like try and scare him now? I feel like this one might be a little... I don't want to just say, like, did the drugs make you do it? Or, like, automatically say if you go to prison for blah, 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 then... I don't know. This one just comes off as bad because we're just saying he needs to plead guilty, but, like... I don't know. I guess maybe we'll try this. If we don't have a deal and you're found guilty, it's absolutely prison time. But I can only give you a deal if you plead guilty. They spit out the words. I don't need no deal, pig. I'm innocent. This isn't scaring him. He doesn't feel it could happen. Okay. Hey, you're tough. You'll be fine in prison, I'm sure. They say with bravado, I'd be just fine inside, yo. He's not buying it. Yet. Make him feel this is a real possibility, then ask him that again. You know how many months you do for bike theft? They state timidly. No, man. No, I ain't worried about that. So those are signs of fear. We're on to something. Hey, you're tough. You'll be fine in prison, I'm sure. They avoid your gaze. Well, what? You don't do time for snatching bikes, do you? My dad works for a senator. I'll be fine. Sometimes the talks reveal new information that you can further pursue. Oh, you think the senator will risk his career for the sake of a bike-snatching kid? Really? They shift their seat in distress. But probably not. There we go, we're getting there. Now let's push him in a good place, or let's put him in a good place to negotiate. Okay, so if we don't have a deal and you're found guilty, it's absolutely prison time. I can only give you a deal if you plead guilty. They seem concerned. But what would a deal be like? Okay, we've got him. As you can see, his pulse is much faster right now. Okay, now this is off the record, but I want you to know your options. At any time, you can stop the recorder tracking your questioning. Oh, that's a little awful. This will make people suspicious. The public will ask what happened when the recording was stopped. You'll be accused, but ultimately, it's your word against theirs. In a pinch, though, it's something to consider. That's not very ethical, but I don't know. You have means of enhanced interrogation that can get... Oh my gosh! I don't want to torture people. Try a couple out. The actor will just pretend to be hurt. Okay, what? We have a taser in our filing cabinet? I'll just tell the wall. Wait, what? Did we just slam him into the wall? Oh, I thought we were... This is probably dumb, but I thought we were gonna, like, punch the wall or something. Or, like, okay, that was stupid of me. They groan in pain, giving you a scared look. Oh, and now we have to tase him. I require your full attention. Doing this closes them off, but as you can see, now they're terrified. Beware that, if you continue roughing them up, they might pass out. Start the record again when you're done. Sometimes you'll be interrogating against the clock. When that's the case, keep your eyes on the timer. Sometimes you'll be interrogating more than one guy. Switch between rooms and be sure to cross-reference the info they give you. Anyway, you'll get to keep your manual after you finish the academy. It's great for refreshing your memory about what you learned today. Okay, now to wrap this up, we're ready to get a confession with the accusation question. Okay, let's talk about you writing a confession. We both know you did it. Come on. They seem concerned. What? Nah. What would, that involve, though? We've almost got him. You just have to press him the right way. There are ways in which you press an open subject, and other ways in which you press a terrified subject like this one. Maybe we'll be like good cop, bad cop, but we're both the good cop and the bad cop. Look, you'll be fine. We'll help you compensate the victims, make things right. Ready to sign a confession? Okay, their voice is cracking. Nah. Wasn't me, man. Nah. He doesn't seem to empathize with that. You need you need something harder. Listen, you lowlife. Sign this confession right now, and maybe we can keep your dumb butt out of jail. They say in despair. Okay, alright. I'll sign. Mission accomplished. Great. We did like a complete 180 personality shift in that interview, but I guess it worked. Chief Anderson, hey, I need you to come in on my case. Fisher's brought in a set of guys. They're in the interrogation rooms. Mordecai says, hey, we have the Vic's husband, the only witness, and the robber that broke in. Ugh, fine. We need your questioning magic in there, a confession, because all we have is circumstantial. You in? Okay, sure, I guess I'm good. Sure thing. So the story is this Cox broke in and armed with a low-cal piece, holding this Peterson up and tying him to a chair. Wife comes in, jumps for the phone. Cox drops her with 2 shots to the back before bolting. We have the gun, no prints. This Peterson was cool as cucumber. His wife's body was just lying there in the other room. Managed to track down and also grab Cox. Street contacts helped. But we still don't have a clear picture of the murder. Check out the files, grill them cross-examination, get me a confession. You have this. Oh, Oh, okay. I thought that arm was like cut off, and I was like, that's gory, but no. Okay. Incident: Berkeley breaking and entry homicide. Victim name Heather Peterson. And let's see. Incident narrative. Heather Peterson was murdered in her living room in front of her husband, Daryl Peterson, who was found tied down in a chair in the same room. He claims a burglar broke in and, armed with a low-caliber gun, threatened them, tied them up, and subsequently shot Miss Peterson as she tried to use her cell phone. Using the description provided and a tip from a local pawn shop, we managed to track down the burglar, one Jeremy Munch Cox, and apprehend him. This name is just awful. The gun was found outside the building near the fire escape. The thief used to enter and leave the premises. The evidence of the burglary is clear, but we still don't have a full picture of the murder, which Munch strongly denies committing. What complicates things is Mr. Daryl Peterson's attitude. The first detective on the scene described him as disturbingly serene. Our best hope of closing the case fast and clean is an admission of guilt. Munch and Peterson have both been held for questioning. You have been tasked with extracting a confession. Okay, I think they're in it together. That's my initial reaction. I think he hired the burglar to come in and, like, this is a teamwork deal. Okay, and let's see. Jeremy Cox is 26. Okay. Jerry Cox, alias Munch, has been identified as the burglar who broke into the Petersons' apartment the night of the murder. His criminal record is quite colorful and includes car theft, pickpocketing, burglary, and credit card fraud. A high school dropout with no current employment, Munch is well known to the local police as a troublemaker. He is the main suspect and has been directly accused of tying down the couple and shooting the wife, possibly impulsively under stress when she reached for her phone. While circumstantial evidence in the husband's testimony points to Munch as the murderer, it is not sufficient for a conviction. He does not have a past record of violent crime of any sort. Munch has previously taken plea bargains and can perhaps be pressured into doing so again. We have a little nice picture of him. That coat part looks real, like a real photo. And him giving a little hoorah fist or whatever. Okay, and then this is the husband. He's 41. Let's see, Daryl Peterson is the husband of the victim. Although we usually avoid involving family members of the recently deceased in an investigation, he is the sole witness of the murder, and as such, a key asset. He has voluntarily agreed to be interviewed. Peterson's reports so far have been accurate and led to the arrest of the burglar and the main suspect for the murder, Jerry Munch Cox. However, the police officers of the first unit at the scene reported Peterson displaying unusual calm and composure. This is a suspicious degree of detachment for someone emerging from such a traumatic and stressful situation. This raises some concerns, yet Peterson has a clean record and there's no evidence that points to any wrongdoing on his part. Okay, so either they were like doing it together maybe, or maybe, and I think this is less likely, maybe he's just a dude who does not show emotion. I don't know. That seems far-fetched, but maybe. Okay. Okay, so we have to get them to open up first. Let's talk about the burglary. They state defensively, I don't get what all the fuss is about. It ain't like I got that much out of it. Maybe you were aware that there were people inside? They state, a quick smile in the corners of their mouth. How could I know about that? I don't have cameras in people's toilets like you boys do. Okay. Then why take the risk if you did not know if people were inside? Got him. They state defensively, in my trade, everything is a risk. I was thinking I'd just take a peek and see if anybody was in. But they were home. Did you see them? They state defensively. I bolted back down the ladder before I could see anyone. Maybe we need to be tough. Like, you lie to me one more time and I'll stop playing nice. We caught you with stolen items, so don't tell me you just backed off. They seem annoyed. Okay, there is no one inside, so I climbed in and looked around. So if they weren't in the bedroom, when did you notice them? They described a neutral voice. After I jumped in, I heard voices inside the apartment somewhere. It sounded like they were fighting or something. Did you hear what they were fighting about? They state, raising their voice. What do you think I am, man? The CIA? You tell me what they are fighting about. I got my butt out of there as soon as I noticed somebody was in the house. I think we gotta ask about that fight. Again, did you hear what they were fighting about? They state blankly. Told ya, I didn't stay to listen. I'm no perv. Come back to this later. He nods. I'm sure we will. Hey, let's talk to Daryl. Okay. Maybe I have some questions about your wife. They state with warmth in their voice. She was such an angel. What do you want to know? Ooh, that one. Okay, maybe we say... I don't know. I think we have to get friendly with him first before we can say, like, can't imagine myself ever getting married. So... I don't know, maybe we try it. They frown. Cool, I really don't care. Okay, yeah, that was bad. Do you think anyone would hate her enough to plan on harming her? They state in a high-pitched, what? Of course not! They broke in into our home, didn't know either of us. Okay. The burglar had a rope, a loaded gun, an escape plan. All of that effort to steal a few bonsai trees? Unlikely. They state spitefully, I didn't think of that. If he really planned it all along, I hope he'll sit comfortably on the electric chair. Did she get along with her colleagues at work? They state blankly, from what I know, yes. She never told me about any serious arguments anyway. So there's nobody who you think would plan on harming her? They state blankly, no, not really. How are things in your marriage? They state defensively. I don't see the relevance of this line of questioning right now. Okay, so we have the argument you had on the night of the attack. Was that common in your relationship? They avert their gaze. I don't think you have the right to stick your nose in our marriage. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so we have my file does not say, but do you have any children? Or again, how common was last night's argument in your relationship? Let's try the children. They state blankly, no, sadly we did not. My wife didn't want one. So you do not have any children? They state in a neutral tone. You should really take notes. I already told you that I do not. Well, that you could have a kid with another person. Okay, again, how common was last night's argument in your relationship? They avert their gaze. I don't think you have the right to stick your nose in a marriage. Okay. Maybe let's go back to Jerry. He nods, I'm sure we will. Okay. What did you take? They state with frustration in their voice. Just some useless small trees. It was the only thing around. I don't know what the big deal is. Okay, yeah. Which we already said that he stole bonsai trees. Why did you choose this specific house? They state defensively. I didn't choose it for nothing, Chief. I didn't do it. Whatever you want to pin on me. Whatever it is you want to pin on me. Okay, so... Okay, I think that line of questioning isn't as important. Because, like... I don't know. I really do think Daryl did it. He's probably not telling us everything he heard, or that he's working with him or something, but like he's the guilty one, I think. Yeah, he shrugs. You're the boss here. Okay. Let's talk about the murder of Miss Peterson. They state, visibly annoyed, man, as I told the officer that arrested me, I know nothing about that. Did you know the Petersons before the event? They state, raising an eyebrow. Look, the only Peterson I know sells groceries back in my neighborhood, so no. I don't know the Petersons, never did, and I don't even know what they look like. Let's see. Maybe we say, we found the husband tied down. He claims you did that. They erupt in anger. What? That lying jerk. Do you think I carry a rope around just in case? Nah, I'm not into that shibari stuff. Okay, so that definitely was a good one to say. The woman was shot in the back in cold blood. They state in despair. And you think I did that? Come on, be reasonable. If I was a guns blazing jerk, I wouldn't at least take their TV or something out on the way out. Okay. Maybe you panicked, pulled the trigger accidentally. They look at you, anger in their eyes. What trigger? Panicked by what? You ain't pinning this on me, no matter how hard you try. I don't think he did it. I think it was Daryl. I just want him to, like, give us something about that. I don't know. Maybe that's all we're gonna get out of him. Maybe, did you happen to see anybody else in or around the house when you were in there? They say blankly, I didn't see anyone. The street was empty, and I ran away as soon as I heard voices inside. I can't remember if we already said this. The gun that was shot Miss Peterson was found near the fire escape ladder you used to escape. They say blankly, someone must have dropped it or something. I told you, I know nothing about the murder. You say the weapon isn't yours, yet you were the only one at the scene. That doesn't add up. They state in despair. Chief, ask anyone. Go search my house. Do whatever you want. I never had a gun. I don't even know how to use one. Anyone could have dropped it there. Okay, let's go to Daryl. They nod rigidly. What do we need? Okay. Let's see. Let's ask about this. What were you and your wife doing that night before it all happened? They state blankly. We were watching TV when that guy came in through the window. So yeah, that's not even true because yeah, Jerry said he came in and he heard the voices, so he didn't even like see them, and that they were arguing. Okay, I don't know. Okay. I'd like to know some details about the incident's timeline. They state questioningly. Okay, what do you need to know? When and where did you first see him? They state after pausing for a second to think. When he entered the living room. Where were you and your wife when you first saw him? So he said they were watching TV. They state calmly, we were in the living room. Is this relevant to the investigation? Yes, it is. You butt. Okay. At what point did the burglar pull out the gun? They state, raising their voice, he had his gun out when he burst in. How did you react when you saw the gun? They state calmly, I put up my hands, of course. I told him that he could take whatever he wanted, as long as he did not hurt us. Did he also want to tie down your wife? They state calmly, yes, he was telling her to sit down when she darted towards the phone. That's when he shot her. Why did he tie you down? They state calmly, I guess he was scared I would try and fight him off. So when did you say he pulled out the gun? As I said, he already had his gun in his hand in the interview room. Now, I kind of want, I really want to catch him, like, saying something false. Like, that obviously contradicts something else he said. Okay, maybe we just need to say this. Munch claims he does not own a gun, and there's no evidence tying him to one. Their voice cracks. Well, he's clearly lying. Or perhaps he stole mine. I keep it in the bedroom. Okay, so he had a gun that he keeps in the bedroom where he was arguing with the wife, I think it was. Oh, okay, and that's the contradiction. He said maybe he grabbed mine, but according to him, he never even walked into his bedroom. Gotcha. Okay. I don't know if we need to, like, ask him, like, to prove we have a contradiction or something. I want to avoid turning that off, because that's very unethical, but I don't know. Maybe we can go back to him. Okay. Did you feel threatened by the couple in any way? They state blankly. I'm sure they're nice people, but I haven't seen them, spoken to them, or even sent them a text. That's a long way of saying no. Okay, so, yeah, I guess they aren't working together, and he was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. So we need him to just give us information about what he heard. Again, did you see anybody else in or around the house when you were in there? They say blankly. Told you I didn't say no. Okay, yeah. Let's talk about you. They state with venom in their voice. Let's get this over with. Call me Munch. Do you have any friends or family? They state, avoiding your gaze. My cousin is the only one left, but please don't drag him into this. He has nothing to do with it. That's such a jerk move. Excellent. We'll track down this cousin and see if he can corroborate your story. Very well. If you write down his phone number and address, we'll make sure he knows you're safe. They say with a tinge of disbelief in their voice, thanks, but the boy knows how to handle himself. It's better if he don't get into trouble looking for me or something. Okay, well that's sweet. This is not your first crime, is it? They try to control their anger. Why? You want to send me to prison for the old ones again? What made you turn to crime? The corners of the mouth curl slightly, preventing their statement. I didn't do no crime in my life, except those I pleaded guilty to. Those I did. This is why you should have stayed in school, Munch. I don't think that's going to help anything. You've already been convicted once and did your time. Why do it again? Stay with anger in their eyes, so a shining knight like yourself can put me back in. Okay, I understand your difficulties, but a woman was murdered this time. Help me get to the bottom of this. They state resolutely, sure, I'll help you. I didn't do it. Case closed. Man, I don't know. I think I'm missing something. Again, why did you return to being a thief after serving time? They say with anger in their eyes. As I said, because no one is going to hire me with a record, and you know that. Have you been part of a criminal group or gang? They say with anger in their eyes. No, never was, never is, never will be. Lay off, you ain't pinning gang activity on me. I didn't really think he was in a gang. Okay, I don't know. I mean, I think he did it. But I don't know the right question to ask. We know he's lying about the gun, and when Jerry came in, because he said he came in with a gun, but then he said, I don't know, I have a gun in my room, maybe he took that, which doesn't make any sense. How did you say you reacted when you saw the gun? They state calmly. As I said, we both put our hands up and tried to calm the situation. Did you provoke him in any way? Threaten him somehow? They state blankly. As I said, sadly no, I did not have my gun on me. So when did you say he pulled out the gun? They say blankly. As I said, he already had the gun in his hand when he entered the room. Did you hear him coming into the house? They say blankly. No, not really. TV volume was quite high. Where did you say you first saw him? They say blankly. As I said, I saw him when he entered the living room. Can request a hint. Any crime needs to have a motive, means, and opportunity. Try to explore these subjects with the suspects. Okay, so we need to find his motive, which I kind of think it's the kids. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. You said you own a gun? You're not registered as a gun owner. They state defensively. The state's legislation doesn't say I need to register. I bought it at a gun fair anyway. What about it? Why did you not report this sooner? It's quite dubious that you would hide such a thing. They state defensively. I didn't think I had to. I didn't report the numbers of shoes I own either. It's not the same thing, Daryl. You dummy. Again, why didn't you report it sooner? They avert their gaze. I'm sorry, with everything happening, I just didn't realize it would be important. So, I don't know. I feel like... Let's talk a bit about him. They say in a high pitch. Why? What about me? The first few hours must be hard. How are you handling the loss? They state calmly. We have to move on, don't we? Wow. That is stone cold after the, day after your wife was murdered. Gosh. My reports say you were surprisingly calm when the police found you. Do you care that little about your wife's death? Their voices' pitch rises. How dare you? I was in shock, and I wanted to be as helpful as possible, so I was trying to keep my cool and be useful. That's... okay. Ooh, okay, so he said he didn't have kids, but maybe this one would be good to ask then. What you went through can be very traumatic. Do you have any family to help you get through these tough times? They state, slightly annoyed. No, and I do not think this is in any way relevant to your investigation. I think differently, Daryl. Gosh. Are you sure you wouldn't want us to contact any relative to help you during these tough times? They state, visibly annoyed. I would really prefer if we only discuss things that are relevant to the investigation. Have you taken leave from work to deal with this? They state blankly. There was no need for that. They fired me months ago. Huh. Okay. Why did you get fired? Anger smolders in their gaze. Those corrupt jerks. They wanted to hire cheaper labor, immigrants and such. They didn't care I had been working there for 6 years. All they care about is their own bottom line, these global corporations. Wow. Alright. Where did you used to work? They say blankly, I probably made the chair you are sitting on right now. I used to be a carpenter. Okay, so you got fired because they wanted cheaper labor is what he said, quote unquote. I don't know. So your wife was the primary earner. They raised their voice, visibly upset. Yes, she had a salary and I did not. You sound just like her, criticizing me all the time. It can't be all roses and sunshine in one's career, okay? Yeah, so there's the motive. The job hunt must be frustrating. I hope you find one soon. They state below, don't pretend like you care. Again, I hope you find a job soon. They state... Okay, yeah, that didn't go anywhere. Yeah, okay, so we have a motive. I understand you got fired from last job. They state blankly. There was no need for that. They fired me a few months ago. Okay, so that just brings up that same line of questioning again. So you and your wife argued often, and she blamed you for getting fired? They shift uncomfortably in the chair. Yes, you got it right. She thought that just because she had an income and I did not, it made her superior in some way. Wouldn't understand that it wasn't my fault. I was fired. I assume you were fighting over this on the night of the break-in as well, right? They shrugged stiffly. Actually, yes. That's what started it that night as well. It was a common thing for us. Why did you hide it, Daryl, if it wasn't significant to the investigation? I don't know what I just said. It didn't really make sense, but okay. It must have been so frustrating for you, her constant pestering. They bark out angrily. I don't want to talk about her or my feelings. Enough. Just say it again. Now it's time to stop lying to me, Peterson. It is obvious to anyone that you resented what she did. Their voice quivers. Yes, I deserved her respect, and she refused to give it to me. Any man in my position would feel the same. She was vicious and relentless. I couldn't have any peace and quiet. So that is why you seem so composed about the situation. You actually hated her. They shake nervously. How would you feel in my shoes, huh? I'm not happy she's dead, but she made my life miserable. At least now I'll have some peace and quiet. That's a horrible way to feel about the person you're married to. You know, like, you can feel however you want to about your spouse, but, like, if you don't want to be in that relationship, don't murder them. That's just awful. Horrible. You don't need me to tell you that. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if we need more information or what. Do we even need to talk with him anymore? We need a confession, right? Are you from the city? They state sadness in their voice. Yeah, I've been around this place enough to know where this is going. Okay. Daryl harbors great resentment for his wife, giving him possible motive. Try finding out if he had any means to do this. What we already know he did. He had the gun. Okay. Let's talk some more about your gun. They state spitefully, I do not understand why you care so much about that. As I said, I keep it so that I can stop scum from hurting me or family. But you didn't. Why didn't you try and use the gun in self-defense? They state calmly, I couldn't reach it in time. I was even waiting for an opportunity to test my aim on filth like him. So you were prepared for such an event? He said that already. But, okay. They crossed their arms defensively. Seeing how dangerous this city is nowadays, criminals running loose while the police force is too corrupt to do anything about it, you have to be ready to take matters into your own hands, no offense. Most people don't wish they had an opportunity to test their aim on a human being, Peterson. What if you killed the burglar? Their voice quivers in anger. Then there would be one less piece of trash walking the streets. If most people would be willing to stand up, the streets would be much safer. Okay, so he's willing to kill. Okay, why didn't you report it sooner? They avert their gaze. As I said, I didn't know I had to. So you say you can't reach your gun in time? They say anger in their eyes. I said, obviously yes, otherwise that scum wouldn't be alive now. Okay, quite harsh views you have, Mr. Peterson. Do you really think this burglar deserves to die? They state resolutely while crossing their arms. Yes, with some people, there's no alternative. You have to take things into your own hands and get tough. Only way this world will ever be a better place is if honest people stand up, with force, if necessary. Vigilante justice. Do you think that's the solution? They fix you with their stare. There's so much filth out there, and the system that's supposed to clean it is just as dirty. If honest people like you and me don't take action, the filth will drown us all. It is the only solution. Just you and me? That won't change much, don't you think? Their voice is booming with energy. There's many of us out there who think like this. We found each other online, like-minded people willing to take up the responsibility, do the right thing. We? What are you talking about? A political platform? They start speaking faster. No, politics is their game. If we play by their rules, we lose because it's a rigged game. We need to short-circuit the whole system, shake up the entire establishment. That takes a coordinated effort, though. How will that happen? They say calmly. There's this group I was talking about. We mostly meet online. Forums, boards, chat rooms. It's a great tool to organize ourselves, plan things out. It's like he's about to, answer for a different crime completely, or whatever. Okay, so he's, a part of some, vigilante extremist group who's willing to kill people. So, maybe they, helped him. What sort of plans are you talking about? They speak with confidence and conviction. I don't know for sure, but I don't have the rights to the chat room where things are organized. But it will certainly be big. Why don't you have access to this chat room? They shrug. You need to show some commitment beforehand and to be a part of the group for a while. I asked for access. I'm sure I'll get it soon. Oh. Who has access then? He smiles. The chat rooms are anonymous, of course. We know each other by our IDs, mostly veterans. People that have been involved for a long time. They assign a mentor to new people. Mine is HornBuddy49. Silly name, I know. So is, killing a part of the initiation or something? Kill someone who is bad in your life to prove that you can be a vigilante or whatever. Help clean the earth of scum. Is that what's going on here? Okay, what needs to be discussed in such secrecy? He smiles. I don't know for sure, but it's the place where they assign actual tasks and set up meetings. Things are picking up recently. It's all very exciting to be part of the Liberation Front. The Liberation Front? That's this group's name? They state blankly. No one voted on it or anything. It's just what we call it. I've heard enough. A tinge of smile of a smile shows in the corner of his eyes. If you want some links to the forums, I'll give them to you after we're done here. Okay, who has access then? He smiles. The chat rooms are anonymous, of course. We know each other by IDs. Okay, yeah, that was that. We got that little ding. Does that mean we can, like, Daryl on the gun has confessed to hater life and has expressed extremist views. You can confront him about all. Okay, yeah, so we're ready. That's what it's saying. I don't really want to ask this again, but I think we have to so we can get back to this, yeah. Okay. Daryl, honestly, who killed your wife? They state, their voice shaky. Well, what do you mean? The burglar? Who do you think killed her? To me, it's clear that you have no love for your wife. You resent her. I would go so far as to say, you hate her? Their voice is wavering. I did hate her, yes. I hated her arrogance. I hated her friends. I hated her bonsai trees. I hated the disrespect she had for me. But that doesn't mean I would ever hurt her. Okay. And even more, that night, you had an argument and you also saw a huge opportunity to blame the murder on the burglar you spotted coming in. Is that right? That is what are the odds that the burglar was gonna come and rob your house the exact night you, murder your wife or whatever? Or, oh, maybe he saw the burglar so he thought, good time to murder my wife. Gotcha, that's what okay. I'm tracking, I'm following. They blabber. What? How? I mean... Ooh, okay. I don't know if this is gonna work on him, though. You've made it quite clear you see violence as a solution, Peterson. You talk with your friends online about it. You had the means and the motive to do it. If you believe in justice as you say, confess. Tears start coming out of his angry eyes. She should have treated me with more respect. She deserved it, and so does my stupid boss, and so do many others. If we don't take things in our own hands, nothing will ever change. I thought you understood that, too. I mean, yeah, but can't kill people because you feel like they're not giving it to you. Interrogation successful. With a confession secured, Daryl Peterson will be going to jail for a long time. What is this Liberation Front business, though? Okay, so I guess that's going to keep coming back up through the story. Chief Anderson, good work in there. I have something important I want to discuss with you. But before that, I need you to finish up this the press release we're putting out about this case. Help them word it. Whew. I need a drink or something. Fun fact, I had to learn how to write press releases in college because I'm a journalism major in the communications department. That's what I have a degree in, journalism. Okay, then come see me. So we're helping them word the thing. The investigation involving the murder of Heather Peterson was concluded today, which resulted in the arrest of Daryl Peterson, 41, and Jerry Cox, 26. All evidence pertaining to the case has been directed to the relevant authorities, with the full cooperation and counsel of the STD prosecutor. Click to cycle through. Okay. Woo. They will be treated following judicial procedure. Treated following? I think we left out, a part of the sentence there. The criminals have been incarcerated. They will be treated following... Okay, yeah, we'll just go with that. That's a little less harsh than the other one. Their cases will be taken to criminal court. Daryl Peterson. Ooh, I get to pick the most the most ethical option. This is great. As a journalism major, I finally get to do stuff with it. Yay. Daryl Peterson. Probably the victim's husband is the best one. Confessed to the murder during questioning. Although he initially attempted to hide his involvement by staging a violent robbery, evidence found at the scene contradicted parts of his description of the event. The police will be advancing charges of blah blah blah. But anyways, yeah, fun fact. At least at my school, we were taught, when you write, articles and stuff like this, you have to avoid, and this is AP rules, which is the Associated Press, and they're kind of like the board for journalism, I guess, who you look to when you need to know about how to report on something ethically and the rules and stuff. But yeah, basically you need to try and avoid having any bias or making it seem like we know for sure that this person is guilty, unless you have 100% evidence. I don't know. But, like, you can't say, Daryl Peterson, the man who committed the murder, will be going on trial, like, before he's even been convicted of it, because you might sway, people's thinking about it, the case before it's even been, like, determined. But there you go. The police will be advancing charges of first-degree murder. I feel like that's fair. Due to the confession, the manslaughter charges against Jerry Cox have been dropped, and he will only face prosecution for breaking, entering, and theft. His involvement in creating the circumstances for the murder to happen will be investigated further, and stressed he had no violent intent and no connection to murder. Well, that's the honest one. He had no violent intent and connection to murder. He didn't even have a gun. Pick an old memory. Oh. Known pacifist? You always follow procedure and are known for it. Subjects have more empathy towards you, but you cannot trouble frightening them and cannot use enhanced interrogation. We do this by the book or else we're no different from them. I'm leaning towards that one because I really don't want to do that. Like and hurt people. I don't know. Scholar of ideology. You have keenly studied extremist ideology and may use the knowledge when talking to people with radical convictions. In the end, we'll strike back against ourselves. That might be useful, because I think that's going to be a running thing. Profiler. Reading reactions and emotional states is science to you. You have an exact evaluation in numbers of how fearful and empathetic the subjects are. Huh. Speed demon. You have more time to interrogate, but cannot access files during or before interrogations. I'm leaning towards one of these two. I kind of think we should go with this one. I think it'll help us out later in the game. That's a cool system, though. Chief Anderson. This Liberation Front business you got out of Peterson, it seems to be pretty serious stuff. They've been claiming more and more hits, and seem to be behind things like assaults on politicians. They appear to be expanding their operation, chiefly in our city. So I've talked it over with the powers that be, and we've decided you're the best person for the job. Like, honestly, yeah, I picked that background. You'll be heading up a small unit to combat these guys. Do I get to pick the unit? We are pulling some of the best people from other departments to work with you. Not gonna lie, this unit will mean all eyes will be on you. Try and keep everyone happy. But most importantly, stop these jerks. Rest up. See you tomorrow. This is a very pretty game, by the way. I do like the art style. Chief Anderson, congratulations on your new assignment, Detective. Let me introduce some of the people you'll be working with. Okay, so we don't get to build the team. This is Tab Thompson, Analyst Extraordinaire. I look forward to addressing the threat of the Liberation Front with you, Detective. And this is Jennifer Reyes, Organized Crime Department's best. Jennifer, delighted, Detective. Mordecai Fisher, who we pulled from Homicide, will also be helping you out in the field. Yeah, I'll leave you to it. Okay, so I for sure think that at least one of the people on our team is going to be guilty of something at some point. Like, I think that's going to happen. Like, it has to, right? Like, that's what, most stories would use. Okay, Jennifer, shall we head out and talk some shop over the Hannigans? Or did she... Oh, over Hannigans, okay. The meeting room isn't not being used. Let's just go straight to our desks. The fun part of me wants to go to the restaurant. The business part of me wants to go to the meeting room. I think this is not going to help anyone. Let's take the meeting room. We don't want to seem like we're, like, abusing police or taxpayer money or something. I don't know. Jennifer, we've got some live action, boss. Morty's out there with some badgers grabbing our 3 suspects for who that Horn Bunny might be. It's an awful name. I do hope Mr. Fisher practices restraint. I know him to be rather abrasive when bringing in people. Procedure's important, innocent until proven guilty. I'm going to get the rooms ready. There's an update being pushed to the chat room software. Darn, it seems to be that Liberation Front have found out about our move. They've triggered the reallocation of passwords for the chat room. It's just a matter of minutes before the current password becomes useless. We need to acquire a new one ASAP. Okay, so this is going to be timed. They're here. Get ready to interrogate them. Line up the files. Okay. Incident narrative. The Liberation Front is plotting online using password-protected forums and chat rooms, their members hiding behind anonymous handles. Following Peterson's tip, we tracked down the main chat room they use, a server dedicated to pet care. We've recently seen traffic spikes to one of the special access private rooms, and we suspect something major is happening. It's kind of like Reddit, huh? Or not at all like Reddit, depending on how you look at it. That was bad. Okay, never mind. We've managed to find a username that has special permissions required to access most of the private channels in this chat room. HornBunny49. Now we need the password. Using IP tracking, we've managed to narrow down the user ID to 3 possible individuals. None of them admit to being HornBunny49, and as such, we are now held for further questioning. The Liberation Front caught wind of our inquiries. I cannot speak right now. Initiating a mass reset of passwords and access permissions. We only have minutes to find the password that gives us access to their conversations. Okay, so I might not be able to like read all of this stuff out loud. We gotta go fast. This lady who is on the cover of the game, or at the beginning, the title screen, Diana O'Donnell. Okay, Diana O'Donnell has one of the IPs that might have belonged to the Liberation Front member using the HornBuddy49 handle on the pet care chat room. Diana is what is called an alternative model, doing modeling work, as well as the occasional acting job, under the stage name Sabina Jones. What is an alternative model? Am I just like missing something, an implication there? She dropped out of medical school and was a nightclub entertainer in the past. Some of her known associates have been suspected of or charged with narcotics-related offenses. She hosts a blog that regularly critiques modern lifestyle trends. Okay, so she's edgy. You know. Okay, tattoo. Cartoon rabbit on back. Not a tramp stamp on the lower back. She sounds like a fun gal. Oh, wait! A cartoon rabbit, and it's called Horn Bunny. Wow, okay. So I guess we could use that. Michael Lemon has one of the IPs that might have belonged to the Liberation Front member using the HornBuddy49 handle on the pet care chat room. Michael works as a pet stylist for a boarding, kenneling, and salon that he owns. Or boarding kennel, okay. A humanities graduate, he's an aficionado of the city's underground theater scene, and a card-carrying member of the Democracy Party. Okay, so it's like, is he the one that like they want us to think is the person who did it, like the red herring? Because it's like, oh look, he's a card-carrying member, and like he has a humanities degree or whatever, and underground theater work. Okay, or maybe him. Fred Ennis is one of the IPs that might have belonged to the Liberation Front member using the HornBuddy49 handle on the pet care chat room. Fred works as a risk analyst for a major bank. Thrice divorced, he practices airsoft and plays field tennis. He's repeatedly threatened to sue us while we were holding him for questioning. Okay, so I think they want us to think it's, like, gonna be him. But I really think it's her because of that whole, like, cartoon rabbit on back. And the username being Horn Buddy. Like, that just makes sense to me. Yeah. How I thought that said, how dare you. Okay, we got 7 minutes. You have a tattoo of a rabbit. We're looking for the HornBuddy49. Any connection? There is an eyebrow near their lips. No connection, no. Do you know Michael Lemon or Fred Ennis? They state clearly, never heard of them. Definitely has heard of them. What do you think of the Liberation Front? Their eyes flash with disdain. They're inconsistent in their ideology, and arguing for taking lives is never acceptable, regardless of your cause. What would you say it stands for? They state in disdain. Just an incoherent, vague set of antisocial and incompatible values, really. Okay, so we should probably pick one that she's gonna like. Okay, let's go this. They actually stand for personal freedom, an absolute form of it. Isn't that a noble ideal? They shrug, I guess, but anarchy isn't freedom, in my view. Let's talk about the pick here chat room. They state in a laid-back tone. Yeah, sure. Do you have any pets? They state in a laid-back tone. No, I don't actually. Oh, is it for your blog? They nod and smile enthusiastically. You know it? Okay. Your blog, yes, it has very insightful stuff. I liked it. They smile politely. Thanks. You're a journalist, and you were observing this group. Notice anything particular? They smile. Have you ever been online? Peculiarity, cannot say that right now, is the norm. But no, nothing worth mentioning. What are you currently writing about? Smile enthusiastically. I've been giving it a lot of thought recently about how crazy the practice of dog breeding actually is. Okay, I don't know if it's her. I think I changed my mind. Maybe that tattoo thing was there to like throw us off instead of the other two being red herring. So did anything catch your eye? Any outliers in this group? They smile. Have you ever been online? Okay, yeah. I really appreciated your post on intersectional feminism, merits, and I smile with some satisfaction. Hey, I put a lot of effort into that one. It was a pleasure to write. I must repeat that I really appreciate. Okay. I have some questions about the nicknames in the chat room. I'll do my best to remember. What nickname did you use? They smile with enthusiasm. Mistress Meow. So your nickname is Mistress Meow? They smile with enthusiasm. Yes, that is the one. Okay. Okay, let's talk to another person. I don't think it's her. How are you, Mr. Lemon? They hump. Oh, wonderful, darling. This is exactly my idea of a nice afternoon. Cut the attitude, Scuzzball. They shift on the chair. Scuzzball? Who still talks like that? Let's just go back to how are you holding up. Do you know Diana O'Donnell or Fred Ennis? They seem to be holding back. Maybe. What do you think of the Liberation Front? They adjust their clothes. I admire their fiery spirit. What did you say your opinion? We just asked that. Okay. Let's talk about this pet care chat room. Oh, what a wonderful topic indeed. Go ahead. Let's talk about the conversations in the chat room. They seem confused. Why don't you join in yourself, though, weirdo? Do you have pets of your own, or do you just want to talk about pet fashion? Look into your eyes, perhaps a bit worried. I have no idea what you're talking about. Well, actually, you spend a lot of time in the chat room. Is that true? They state sharply, I do, so what? Are you sort of a leader in that community? They state enthusiastically, yeah, I actually keep the chat room open on my home computer all the time. What types of discussions were there usually in the chat room? They answer enthusiastically. Depending on the crowd at the time, things could get pretty heated, though. Oh, the debates on the best conditioner are legendary. Okay, I don't really think it's this guy. Pet is just an animal, not much to say about them anyway. They shake their head. Darling, your simplicity is outstanding. Okay. So he doesn't, like, hate animals or something crazy like that. How did you get into the chat room? They answer calmly. A colleague of mine talked me into it. You see, that was some years ago. Strange. Oh, okay, yeah, let's ask about this. I want to know what his is. Do you know Mistress Meow in the chat room? They'll look at you in a rocks manner. I'm still waiting for my lawyer. Okay, so you do know who it is. What name did you use? I don't remember. I think you do remember. Let's go to this guy. How are you, Mr. Ennis? Quite discontent with being dragged here. Okay, let's just go with this first one. They now more relaxed. Would have preferred that excuse from them. Let's talk about the pet care chat room. They nod briefly. Fine. I'm very curious to see where this is going. Do you have any pets? State with enthusiasm. Muggy, my cat. He's my entire life. It must be nice having a pet to give you comfort during those lonely times. They look slightly ashamed. I'm not lonely. You just can't rely on humans the same way, you know? I have a question about some of the names in the chat room. Okay, do you know Mistress Meow in the chat room? They seem to stop mid-sentence, realizing something. I might have, yes, approached her. Oh. Do you know who Hornbuddy 49 is? They state simply. I've never seen him around. No. Okay, so you do know who it is, or it's you. I want to make sure we know that it's him. What nickname do you use? Cat Lover 5. Okay, yeah, I believe that. Okay, and we're gonna say, come on, Fred. This is very important. They say with like, no, of course not. Sir, you pulling back slightly in your chair. You can threaten me all you want. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. I think that's him. You know Cat Lover 5 in the chat room. They say clear. Nope. I know the chat room well. Pretty sure I never saw anyone with that handle. Why can't we check this and see if he's lying? Do you know who that is? They just raise hands. Seen about them, but don't know them. Okay, so it's one of these two. So you don't know who they are. No, I don't. Why do you keep pestering about this? Come on, Fred. You can trust me. This is very important. No, of course not. Okay. You said you know Mistress Meow? They seem to stop realizing. Yes, and I approached her. Well, I want to ask her about that. I have some question about the conversations there. How much time did you spend there? I checked it once a day and spent more time there when I asked for some specific advice. So you visit the chat room daily? I explained yes, but only for a few minutes, except when I was looking for some specific advice. How did you get into the chat room? I was struggling to understand which cat vaccines were important. I was searching for an advice. So you found the chat room by looking for advice about pets? They nod yes. What type of discussion were in the chat room usually? They raise an eyebrow. Discussions about pets? You really have to make everything sound suspicious. We're all hiding something, and it's my job to pull out the truth. They pull back in their chair. Whoa, you're a bit too intense. I feel like I'm missing something. Let's go back to her. Are you certain you don't know them? Say clearly. As I said, no, I don't. Okay, one of our suspects claims they don't know Fred's nickname as Cat Lover 5. See if the other one has heard about this. Okay, so you want us to ask her, do you know Cat Lover 5 in the chat room? They ponder for a second and shrug. Don't think so. Okay, so he's lying. Okay. I have some questions about that. What did you say you used? There is no Cat Lover 5, Fred. Stop lying to me. I know you're Horn Buddy 49. But look at you, shocked and troubled. Well, what? How the... Yes, okay, fine. I admit it. It's me. We know you have access to the special room, Horn Bunny. They speak rapidly. Yes, yes, I do. So what? It's just a private chat room. There are millions like it out there. So you admit you are part of the special chat room? They speak rapidly. Yes, it... Oh, wait. Okay, I just said that. That was dumb. Why weren't you upfront about your ID? They're clearly scared and uncomfortable. I'm sorry. I just got confused. That's all. So you admit you're Horn Buddy 49? Yes, yes, it's me. What do you want from me? You should explore what sort of conversation we're going. Okay. Okay, this is what they want me to ask. Man, okay, we're not gonna get it. Okay. That one. Ooh. Okay, so I guess we should have... Ah! Really? Okay, I guess we have to try again. Well, now we know who it is. Unless it, like, changes each time. Okay, so let's start with her and just say... Let's talk about the pet care chat room. I have some questions about the conversations there. How did you get into it? How much time do you spend in there? How much time... Okay, we just asked that. How much time do you spend? How much? I hope I'm... Okay. This is a question about the nicknames. What nickname did you use? Rather not say. Do you have any pets? No, I don't actually. Oh, is it for your blog? Okay, yeah, here we go. Okay, so it does change each time? Because she said last time, like, oh yeah, I am a journalist, haha. And now she's like, I wasn't observing anyone, it's just a chat room. What are you currently writing about? I've been giving a lot of thought recently about how crazy practice talk. Okay, yeah, so it is the same. Hey, I put a lot of effort into that one, it is a pleasure to write. Mistress Meow. There we go. Now we can ask other people about this. How are you? Time is of the essence. Okay, I'll play nice. What do you think of the Liberation Front? I admire their fiery spirit. Do you know these other people? Maybe. Let's talk about this pet care chat room. Let's talk about the conversations. Is that true? I do, so what? Are you sort of leader in that community? Yes, I actually keep the chat room open on my home computer all the time. Do pets of your own or just... Okay, my aunt has a darling chihuahua named Botox, and the chat room helps to inform my work. Tease the fate of the pet stylist. Like an animal hairdresser? They gesture in disdain. No, like a stylist, an artiste. How did you get into the chat room? A colleague of mine talked me into it. You see, that was some years ago. I wonder if we can ask him his nickname now. Do you know Mr. Meow in the chat room? I don't know what you want me to answer. Do you know Home Renee 49? Seen about them, but don't know them. What nickname do you use? Fabulous, amazing princess with dollar signs. Everyone thought I was a girl, though I never suggested it. Okay, yeah, so we have both of their names now, which we didn't have his before, so now we can confront him about that. Okay, how are you? Excuse my colleagues. Let's talk about the pet care chat room. I have a question about some of the nicknames. Do you know Mistress Meow? Do you know Princess? Yes, some posh gal always on about the innate beauty of curly fur. Gave good tips, though. Do you know who Horn Buddy 49 is? I've never seen him around. Trust me. No, of course not. Okay, but it is you. So now we gotta go back to them and have them corroborate it. She could have seen him about him, but never spoke to him. So that one does exist. Try asking our suspect if they know this. Okay, I thought we did, but okay. What name did you use? Cat Lover 5. Okay, yeah, now we have to go have him say no. Nope, I know the chat room pretty well. Okay, I want to say like, oh, we caught ya. Okay, let's just start this. Say decisively. Don't know anything about a special room. Does that just come up? Okay, yeah. You're 49, same age as my father. If you say so. So if you're the terrorist and it's Horn Buddy 49, then what is your age? Then with your age in it? The role is not. Why would I be so stupid that if I were a terrorist under a codename, I'd put my age in the username? And your age. Oh, wait, okay. Grew up back in the day, huh? So you used to be an Oak Scout. Yes, I was actually. What do you think about the Liberation Front? The roles could probably do with big change. I know, brother. Oh, now it's like this first guy, like Daryl. I don't know, but sometimes you gotta take desperate measures, you know? What does it stand for? Terrorism? Isn't that a noble idea? Sure is. I don't know, but sometimes you gotta take desperate measures, you know? Man. I thought... I'm so lost. Do I have to like ask her or something? Okay. Yeah. Cool. No, I just want to get back. What is the password? I think the Liberation Front is doing right. I won't betray them. Okay. And the timer stopped. Excellent. Very good. Okay, so now we have time to just like read and think because we caught them. They look down, confessing with a sigh. I think the Liberation Front is doing what they're doing is right. I won't betray them. Okay, he doesn't like it when we threaten him. I don't even think that's gonna help. I think we need to like appeal to this because he said like people can't be trusted, his pet can. So Fred, the front will hurt innocent people. They're pets too. You're a good guy and I need your help. Tears appear in the corner of their eyes. Well, alright, you're right. I'll give you the password. Great. We did it, boys. We're in. Now we can try to delicately draw out some information on the Liberation Front's plans. And I think I'm gonna leave it here. I think this is a good place to stop. Let me know if you're enjoying it. I'm having fun, even though with games like this and like Ace Attorney and stuff, where you gotta find the evidence and question people, I think it's fun. Sometimes I get a little caught up on like they want you to say specific logic points and like you have to have them say certain things even though you might have already figured out something. Which is kind of frustrating to me because, like, we knew at one point, like, oh yeah, like, Daryl's lying, or, like, we know that Dennis is lying, and you don't just have the option to, like, say you're lying. You have to, like, go through the certain conversation branch that triggers whatever next. But it's a good game. I'm enjoying it. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.